believe that there is more reason for optimism now than there ever has been. We know that there is 7 to 8 billion barrels of conventional oil on the central North Slope. Those are proven reserves. In addition to that, we have the heavy oil resources, we have the shale oil resources, we have the undiscovered conventional oil resources. We have the Outer Continental Shelf in both the Beaufort and the Chukchi. We have NPRA and we have ANWR. There's a lot of oil up on the North Slope, and I believe that is reason for much optimism. We know that the Alaska North Slope, even with just this, the 7 to 8 billion barrels of conventional resources there, is worth now than it was more than 30 years ago, because the value of that resource, when one looks at $100 a barrel, is worth much more than it was decades ago when it was at $3 or $5 or $8 a barrel. We've seen that spending forecasts are up, and this is there's been a lot of work performed below ground, well workovers. We've seen a rebuilding of the infrastructure both below ground and above ground. I believe that's going to set the stage for a viable and vibrant oil industry for many decades to come. We've heard from Captain Forrester at AOGCC that the Alaska North Slope is healthy. I agree with the Department of Natural Resources ad that says, Alaska, we're open for business. I think that the world should know that. I believe it's a great message. I believe that we are competitive and we have a world-class resource to offer. There was a headline in the Petroleum News just a few months ago, and the headline was North Slope Booms. I agree with that. We now have, we've heard over the last year that exploration on the North Slope is at the level really not seen in 40 years. To the extent that there's so much exploration activity, we are rig constrained. There's not enough rigs to perform all of the work that the operators on the North Slope are wanting to perform. We've heard about hot sheeting on the central North Slope, where because there's so many people working up there, they have to sleep a guy in the same one bed. One guy sleeps while the other guy's working. They call it hot sheeting. So again, there's a strong room for optimism. Again, just on slide 85, it's just kind of going through all the major areas. I would say, including Mr. Chair, that I believe Alaskans want to see the legislature act like a sophisticated owner of a world-class resource, and Alaskans expect that Alaska will obtain the maximum value for Alaska's resources for its citizens. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to provide this presentation.